Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Frances Maxwell, and I'm a gold distributor here in Arkansas, USA. And it is my privilege and my honor this evening to be your presenter. And we're going to be talking about the necessary tools. And, you know, we all have in our possession a great e-commerce business that you just heard Jamie go through and describe, you know, with a proven, just plug-in proven system, a proven leadership, superb training, and an excellent training site, and a very lucrative compensation plan. But I find sometimes I need to review some of the things to get back on track. And I'm going to be talking sort of to myself for a few minutes about these things, and you're welcome to join me. And one of my favorite subjects, mindset. You know, as I've mentioned in several of my trainings, the mind is the most powerful tool that we have. Our mind is always with us, 24 hours, 7 days a week. We can access it anytime. It's free. We don't have to buy anything, and you can get to it quickly. So we need to be teachable. And this is a quality that I had to develop when Joe agreed to coach me, mentor, and train me. And I had a very unsuccessful history, and the only way that I was going to change that was to learn from someone who was successful. So I became very teachable. And one phrase I recommend that you not use, and it is, yes, but. This implies that it doesn't apply to you, and for some way, you know, you're different, that you're an exception. And it also makes you sound like you're not teachable. So no matter what your history or background is, we have to learn from someone. We may have learned many things in our lifetime, but by no means were we born knowing everything about everything. To learn, we have to be open to new ideas and concepts, and we have to be open to credible teachers in those areas who are willing to teach us. And you notice I said credible. There's a lot of teachers out there that aren't credible. So you sort of have to look at them and do your due diligence in researching them as well to make sure that they're the people that you want to be following. So we need to change our employee mindset to an entrepreneur. And many of us come with a background of being an employee. So we come with an employee mindset. And here's some thoughts about that mindset. You know, some will call it the great American dream. You go to school, get a job, be a good employee, and in 40 years you're going to retire with a nice retirement plan. And during that time, you leave the problems and the problem solving to the boss. You put in 8 to 12 hours, you draw your paycheck, go home, and the next day you do the same thing. And an employee wants immediate reward, but is not very willing to wait until a later date. And with an employee mindset, the employee is ready to quit when faced with a problem. So today, with the economy as it is, job security is non-existent. So that 40-year plan is no longer an option. So some thoughts about the entrepreneur mindset. You know, the entrepreneur mindset is an art of finding creative, profitable solutions to problems. In other words, we're a problem solver. One must be willing to take risk in order to make a profit. You need to be enterprising, marked by imagination, initiative, and readiness to undertake new products. You are responsible for your own actions or inactions, and you're not blaming others or any other situation. The entrepreneur is willing to do the work to have those rewards that are lasting to a later date. Entrepreneurs, once they attain their goal, they just set another goal, and they never quit improving and learning. Attitude is very important. You know, a positive attitude is a major plus in your business. Everything has two sides to it, a positive or a negative. If you always see the negative side, guess what? That's what you will attract. Being exposed to the law of attraction, we are aware that what your attitude is reflected in your business and in your life. So what you think is what you get. Self-talk. Do you listen to yourself when you talk to yourself? You know, your mind is a very busy place. You're the only person that goes there, so you alone are responsible for what you say to yourself. How can you think positive if all you put in your mind is negative statements about you and to yourself? If you do this because you don't like yourself, find out who you are. Make a list of all your good qualities. If you have a problem doing this, ask some of your friends to share what they feel are your good points. Also, there's great articles, great books on this subject. Just Google it, and you'll find lots of information. This is also an area where affirmations can be used, and it will be very beneficial. You know, saying those positive things to yourself over and over and over will help you to learn who you are and also help with your belief that you're this quality person. Focus. You know, have you ever been so focused on something that you were oblivious to your surroundings and what was going on around you? You know, I have done this sometimes when I'm reading a book or when I'm watching and listening to a training. You know, frequently when I'm assisting Dan or Jeff in a training, I get so focused on their training that I sometimes don't advance the slides in a timely fashion. You know, if you see that happening, you know that I am just tuned in to what these fellows are saying. And some of you men may experience this focus as well when you're watching some of the sports. It's a type of focus that we need to succeed, that our business is our top priority, that we work harder at our business than we ever did at any job that we ever had. Yes, I know that there's a lot of daily distractions out there for all of us, and we're all faced with so many interruptions. We have to learn how to deal with them and just get focused again. Persistence. You know, I feel this quote by Calvin Coolidge really defines persistence. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. And I happen to agree with Calvin Coolidge. And when we start this journey on changing ourselves and meeting the challenges of building a business, we will and do encounter many obstacles. These may be in many different forms and coming from various areas. They may be ones that even we've created ourselves, or they may be outside of us. So give some thought in regards to many of the successful persons that we hear and read about, and some of those are Walt Disney. You know, he was turned down 302 times before he finally got financing to create Disney World. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, 12 publishers rejected her book. Colonel Sanders, do you know how many times people said no to him till he got a yes? 1,009 times. Michael Jordan, he's famous for being cut from his high school basketball team. He turned out to be the greatest basketball player, but never let failure deter him. I love this quote that he has. I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have lost almost 300 games. On 26 occasions, I have been entrusted to take the game's winning shot, and I missed. I have failed over and over and over again in my life. And that's why I succeed. What a thought. And the last one, of course, is Thomas Edison. You know, no list of success from failures would be complete without the man who gave us the many inventions, including the light bulb. He knew failure couldn't stop him. He said, if I find 10,000 ways something won't work, I haven't failed. I'm not discouraged, because every wrong attempt discarded is another step forward. Now, this is just a short list of persons from various walks of life, and there is many, many more successful persons out there that have similar stories with repeated failure, but they persisted. Ask Dan Cattle, Joe Garcia, Jeff Orchard, Garth Wright, and any of the other leaders if when they signed up to be a network marketer, by some magic or luck, that it just happened in a few short days? No. Listen to their stories. They persisted till they overcame the obstacles and are now successful. And this reminds me of Og Mandingo's, I will persist till I succeed. You know, you can learn more about this quote and this man by reading his book, The Greatest Salesman in the World and the 10 Scrolls. When you encounter an obstacle, you keep persisting till you overcome. And you use some of these tools that I mentioned, making it a learning and growth experience. You don't consider it or yourself a failure. Motivated. You know, we're all adults here, so each day set up your plan of action for the day. Don't wait for your sponsor or mentor to call you and tell you what to do all the time. You know what the daily basics are to succeed, so set time aside in your day and do them. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. This is a great quote that Patrick Tulloch uses all the time, and it is so true. And consistency, Consistency is what we need to accomplish our daily plan of action and our goals. We have to schedule time to do the basic things that are going to bring us success and do them daily. This helps us to develop the habit. Consistency is also involved in developing our reputation. When you say you will do something, you do it. You don't make excuses and not do it. You just do it. Pick up that telephone and make those follow-up calls that you said you would do. Call those people that you said you were going to get in touch with. So continue to self-develop. Some people call self-improvement. Well, I think we're all pretty good at it when we start out. We just need to develop into the person that we can be. So even though we've come a long way in making the changes in our lives, we have not arrived. We need to continue to improve on a daily basis. We're not in competition with anybody except ourselves, and our goal should be to continue that growth daily. And we do that by videos. You know, there's a wealth of videos available on YouTube by our leaders. There's Dan, Joe, Garth, Andreas, Patrick, Jamie, me. You know, there's just a wealth of them. And there's also many by the great people like Bob Proctor, Les Brown, Anthony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Robert Anthony. You know, some of us learn by listening. So take advantage of this sharing of great knowledge, and it's a great opportunity to accept quality training that's free and it's easy to access. And then read. You know, this is part of your daily basic things to do, to read at least 30 minutes per day. And there are many great books available on the Steamteam.ca site. You just have to download them and start reading. And I frequently will listen to the audio version as I'm reading a book. It seems to give me more understanding of what the author is sharing with me. You know, I use my 2 senses and repetition to learn the information. And I've also found at times that an author may not resonate with me, so I'll just put that book aside for a while, and later, you know, maybe a week or 2 later, a month or later, I'll pick that book up again, and I will be in tune with the author. And that's possibly due to the growth that I've experienced as a result of continuing to read other books. Also, when reading a book, read it several times and make notes. 2nd, 3rd time you read it, 4th time, you know, 5th time. Making notes helps me to add that information to my knowledge bank, and I can draw on it at a later date. Just because you can say you have read a certain book doesn't mean you're through with that book. It needs to be read many times. And other great sources are the different magazines that are available to us. You know, Network Times, Direct Sales Magazine, Success. You know, these have great information, how other people have attained success in network marketing. There's also information about the other companies, so you can get familiar with them. And this also can be helpful information when talking to other distributors and prospects. Then audios. Audios are like books. They bear re-listening to many times. Audios like Bob Proctor's Science of Getting Rich, Robert Anthony's The Secret of Deliberate Creation need to be listened to multiple times. Again, while reading the book, do them together, making your notes. And I know you have heard many times that if you spend a lot of time in your car to make it your university, there are many ways you can do this with the technology we have today. Most audios now are CDs or MP3s, so you can play in the car or download and put on your MP3 player or iPod. I personally play many of them on my iPod in my car, even for short trips. What I learn in a short time, you know, 5-10 minutes, may make me more money than listening to Tracy Atkins or other performers. And this is a phrase that has nothing to do with audios, but one of the distributors made this comment the other night, and it's, there is no BV to TV. And I just love that phrase. You know, it's so applicable. You know, you don't get anything back from TV. There's no BV there. Then webinars. Webinars are considered events, and you're encouraged to attend all events. You know, we have many webinars available to us on a weekly basis. Wednesday night, as this evening, is the leadership training, and we have the opportunity webinars 4 nights a week. And in addition to that, there are those that are being done by leaders that are targeting different markets and countries. Now, all of these webinars are very informative. I frequently get on different ones to learn as much from the different leaders, and you may learn a better way of presenting something to a prospect or a better way of saying something to the prospect, and how to approach different groups and information on the products, or get a better understanding of the compensation plan. Since Steamteam.ca, do you know how fortunate we are to have that online university? Do you use it on a regular basis? There are network marketers and other companies that are just begging for some quality training and are willing to pay extra for it. And we have it for free. You have a site that's for new distributors that will help them in getting started in the area of their first 90 days. There are trainings available in every conceivable area: prospecting, recruiting, taxes, basics, mindset, leadership, products, just to name a few. So start using this great site. You can't wear it out. Just start using it. And belief in self. As I mentioned in the self-talk segment, that belief in yourself is very vital in your success. Excuse me. Early in my business, I was very fortunate that Joe Garcia saw my potential and believed in me. He would have me advance to the next level and get me out of my comfort zone on a regular basis. He would believe that I was ready and able to accomplish the necessary things at that level, even though I wasn't quite sure that I was ready. But it always increased my belief in myself when I advanced to that next level and accomplished those things. So the secret to success is within you. You have an unlimited potential, and we all have it within us, but we need to be successful. We just need to uncover those talents and develop them. So take responsibility. To me, this speaks for itself. Be responsible for your business activities and your inactivities. And by reflection, be able to make some changes to change your results. And in reflection, this could also be an evaluation of yourself or your results, your activities. I've been reading James Maxwell's book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And he says, ask yourself questions. If your questions are focused, they will stimulate creative thinking. Why? Because there's something about a well-worded question that often penetrates to the heart of the matter, and it will trigger new ideas and insights. If your questions are honest, they will lead to a solid conviction. If you ask quality questions, they will help you to create a high-quality life and business. So pause occasionally and reflect. Laws of attraction. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's Jim Rohn's quote. And here's a list of the persons to be associated with. Leaders: Dan Caddo, Joe Garcia, Jeff Orchard, Garth Wright, all what I call the elite in network marketing. We are so blessed to have so many quality leaders who set the example on how to build a business and how to conduct your business. As a result of associating with them, we have also developed many more great leaders. You associate with them by calling and talking to them, attending the trainings they do, being on the webinars and hearing their stories, spending time on their websites. All of this helps you to get familiar with their stories and who they are. Then you can share that with other people. Other distributors. Build relationships with other distributors in your organization. Calling them and exchanging ideas, or be a member of a mastermind group. If you don't have one, make one. Create one. Get a group of people together and start knocking those ideas around. And one of the most exciting benefits of this association are the great relationships that you develop. Friendships that you would never have experienced. Jeff Orchard and I were talking about this just a couple of evenings ago. And he and I would never have met if it hadn't been for us doing a business opportunity webinar every Tuesday evening. This resulted in a great friendship. Jeff is a great blessing to me and one of my greatest supporters. I also have friendships with many other distributors. If I have a question or need some help doing something, I have friends I can call on to help me. And I'm available to help them as well, just like one big family. And then there are the people we meet and exchange with on a daily basis. This can be your friends, your family, and the people you come in contact with in the process of prospecting. So your why. Know what your why is and review it on a daily basis. This subject has been covered by Dan, Joe, and Jeff regarding why your why is so important. It will help you through those times when you have encountered an obstacle in your business and you're maybe a little discouraged. It will help you get back on track and get focused again. Mentor. Very important to have a mentor. And your mentor may be your sponsor or someone who displays the qualities that you want. Excuse me. For me, my mentor is Joe Garcia, who helped me learn how to make the personal improvements I needed to make to be a successful businesswoman. He showed me, by example, how to conduct my business and to be an entrepreneur. But I had to take the action to make the changes. And a good mentor can make the difference between failure or a huge success. And here's some qualities to look for when you're looking for a mentor. That person has a successful business, they're accessible, likable personality, they have leadership qualities, good communication skills, well organized, and treats others with respect. Then gratitude. Be thankful for what you have. You'll end up having more. If you concentrate on what you don't have, you will never, ever have enough. Oprah Winfrey. There are so many things to be thankful for, and that depends, again, on your mindset. If you consider yourself a victim instead of being very fortunate, you will not think you have many things to be thankful for. And the more things you're thankful for, the more things you will think of to be thankful for. There's family, friends, associates, business, health, leadership in our company, where you live, your possessions, your gifts, nature. It's just on and on and on. There's so many things that you can be grateful for. And a great person to listen to about attitudes and gratitude is Zig Ziglar. I was just listening to him this afternoon in one of my little 5-minute trips on my iPod in the car. So folks, this concludes the Necessary Tools presentation. This tool certainly is not all-inclusive. It's not a complete list. And, you need some more. This is just some that I needed to review. So my wish for you this evening is that you have benefited from this information and that it will be of value to you as you continue your journey, as I continue my journey. So this is Frances Maxwell in Arkadelphia, Arkansas, signing off. Good night.